the universal inheritance of pain. To live is to suffer. This is the immutable truth that binds all humanity. From the moment we draw our first breath to the final whisper of existence, suffering walks beside us like a silent companion. It is etched into the fabric of life, an inescapable force that shapes our days, tests our spirits, and forges our souls. In the grand theater of human existence, suffering stands as the most democratic of experiences, sparing neither the mighty nor the meek. Friedrich Nietzsche, the philosopher who gazed unflinchingly into the abyss of human existence, understood this truth with piercing clarity. His words, "To live is to suffer, to survive is to find some meaning in the suffering," are not a lament but a call to arms. They remind us that suffering is not the enemy. Meaninglessness is. Nietzsche's profound observation pierces through the comfortable illusions we construct around ourselves, revealing a truth as ancient as consciousness itself. That to draw breath is to invite pain, to open our hearts is to risk their breaking, and to love is to court loss. This is not pessimism speaking, but rather the voice of unflinching honesty about the human condition. Every soul that has ever walked this earth has carried within them the weight of disappointment, the ache of unfulfilled longing, and the sharp recognition that life rarely unfolds according to our carefully crafted plans. Yet, in acknowledging this universal inheritance, we discover not cause for despair, but the foundation upon which all genuine wisdom is built. The alchemy of transformation. Suffering, in its rawest form, is a crucible, a searing fire that burns away illusions and leaves behind only what is essential. It is the sculptor's chisel that carves wisdom from pain, the blacksmith's hammer that tempers resilience from despair. History's greatest minds, from poets to warriors, have emerged not in spite of their suffering but because of it. Beethoven composed symphonies in deafness, Van Gogh painted masterpieces in madness, and Mandela found forgiveness in imprisonment. Their suffering was not meaningless. It was the forge in which their greatness was shaped. To endure suffering without seeking meaning is to wander in darkness. To find purpose within it is to light a torch that guides not only oneself but others as well. What distinguishes mere existence from authentic living lies not in the absence of suffering, but in our response to its inevitable presence. Like skilled alchemists of old who sought to transform base metals into gold, we possess the remarkable capacity to transmute our deepest pains into profound insights, our greatest losses into unexpected strengths. The mother who loses a child and dedicates her life to preventing others from experiencing such devastation. The artist who channels heartbreak into creations that console countless souls. The leader who emerges from personal failure with hard-won wisdom about resilience. These are not accidents of fate, but deliberate acts of transformation. Suffering, when met with courage and consciousness, becomes the crucible in which character is forged and wisdom is refined. It strips away the superficial and reveals what truly matters, burning away pretense until only authentic purpose remains. The architecture of meaning. Nietzsche's assertion that survival depends on finding meaning in suffering echoes the timeless narratives of myth and legend. The hero's journey is never one of unbroken triumph but of trials endured, lessons learned, and wisdom gained. Odysseus did not return to Ithaca unscathed. He bore the scars of storms, monsters, and years of longing. Yet it was these very trials that made his homecoming sacred. So too must we see our struggles not as obstacles but as the necessary steps in our own odyssey. When we ask, "Why must I endure this?" we begin the sacred work of alchemy, transforming leaden pain into golden insight. Meaning is not a treasure to be discovered lying dormant in the world, waiting for us to stumble upon it in some moment of revelation. Rather, it is an architecture we construct, stone by stone, from the very materials of our struggles. Each setback becomes a foundation stone, each loss a pillar of understanding, each moment of despair a cornerstone of eventual triumph. The concentration camp survivor who finds purpose in bearing witness to history's darkest chapters. The individual who battles addiction and emerges to guide others toward recovery. The student who fails repeatedly yet persists until mastery is achieved. These are the master builders of meaning, crafting purpose from the raw materials of adversity. Their lives become testaments to the profound truth that suffering, when consciously engaged, does not diminish us but expands our capacity for compassion, deepens our understanding of the human experience, and connects us to the vast community of all who have struggled and endured. The illusion of a painless existence. Modernity whispers lies of comfort, promising escape from suffering through distraction, pleasure, or denial. Yet these are mere anesthetics, dulling the pain but never healing the wound. A life spent fleeing suffering is a life half-lived, for it is in the depths of our struggles that we discover our true strength. The oak tree does not grow mighty in still air. It is the relentless wind that forces its roots to grip the earth more fiercely. So too must we embrace our trials, not as curses but as the very conditions that make us unbreakable. The paradox of strength through vulnerability. Perhaps the most beautiful paradox of human existence lies in how our greatest vulnerabilities become the source of our most profound strengths. The heart that has been broken learns to beat with greater empathy. The mind that has confronted its limitations discovers new pathways to growth. The spirit that has been tested by adversity emerges with an unshakable understanding of its own resilience. This is not about glorifying pain or seeking out suffering, but about recognizing that within every wound lies the seed of wisdom, within every ending the possibility of new beginning. When we cease running from our pain and instead learn to dance with it, we discover that suffering is not life's cruel joke, but its most powerful teacher. Not our enemy, but our guide toward deeper understanding and authentic connection with others who share this magnificent, difficult journey of being human. Before we continue, I'd love to take a moment to sincerely thank you for being part of this journey toward personal beauty and endless growth. Your support, whether through watching, subscribing, liking, or sharing, truly means world to me. Now, let's get back to the video. The light beyond the abyss. Nietzsche famously wrote, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." This is the heart of his philosophy, the transformative power of purpose. When suffering is given meaning, it ceases to be mere agony and becomes a teacher, a guide, a refiner's fire. The mother who endures sleepless nights for her child, the artist who bleeds onto the page for truth, the revolutionary who sacrifices for justice. They do not suffer in vain. Their pain is not an end but a passage, leading to something greater than themselves. Nietzsche once warned, "When you gaze long into the abyss also gazes into you." In suffering, we confront not only the world's darkness, but the shadows within ourselves. Yet this confrontation is sacred. It is only by facing the abyss that we come to know the depth of our resilience, the boundaries of our endurance, and the contours of our character. The fire of suffering burns away pretense, exposing the raw, unarmored truth of who we are. It teaches us humility, deepens our empathy, and enlarges our capacity to love. Suffering does not destroy us. It disrobes us. A call to courageous living. Let this truth resonate in your bones. Your suffering is not meaningless. Your struggles are not in vain. And your pain does not diminish your worth. It reveals it. In a world that often promises easy answers and quick fixes, choose the more difficult but infinitely more rewarding path of finding meaning in your trials. Your scars are not marks of defeat but evidence of battles fought and survived. Your tears are not signs of weakness but proof of your capacity to feel deeply in a world that often grows numb. Rise each morning knowing that whatever challenges await, you possess within yourself the power to transform them into stepping stones toward a life of greater purpose, deeper compassion, and authentic strength. The very fact that you suffer means you are fully, courageously, magnificently alive. If you are in the midst of suffering, know this: you are not alone, and you are not defeated. The weight you carry is not meant to crush you but to strengthen you. Do not ask, "Why me?" but rather, "What can this teach me? How can this refine me?" Every scar is a testament to survival, every tear a seed of wisdom. The darkest nights produce the brightest stars, and the deepest wounds often birth the greatest strength. Rise not in spite of your suffering, but because of it. Forge meaning from your pain, and you will find that survival is not enough. You will thrive. And in thriving, you will light the way for others still lost in the dark.